class. How has been your break? Happy Children's Day to you. You are welcome to this online class. Today we are having agricultural science and the topic is method of weed control. Like I said, method of weed control. You are used to weed. That has been our topic from first week, and we define weed as any unwanted plants that grow where they are not needed. For instance, if you plant a maize and you see okra inside your maize, the okra is a weed because that is not where it's supposed to be. Today we are going to be emphasized on the method of weed control, and the methods are categorizing to 5. We have 5 methods. Method of weed control. 1, we have the physical or the cultural method. Number 2, we have the mechanical weed control. 3, biological weed control. I will explain it immediately I finish writing. 4, we have the chemical control. Then the last one, integrated weed control. So, if I said physical or cultural weed control, these are the methods used by our forefathers in controlling weed. And this method, physical or cultural, it includes 1, burning. When you are doing bush burning, it's a method of weed control. And this burning, it has a negative effect on the soil and the vegetation, because if you are setting the bush or the vegetation on fire, it will affect the microorganism inside the soil. Then it can easily expose the soil to erosional agent. So that is the effect of bush burning. Next, among the physical, we have crop rotation. Crop rotation is another method. And like I've said, when we were doing crop, and you already know what crop rotation is. Adiza, what is crop rotation? I told you crop rotation is a systematic planting of crops in which you plant crop year in, year out, and it's done in an area where you are trying to utilize your soil. So the next one under this one is mulching. So these are the physical methods of controlling weed. You know what mulching is? When you are using dry grasses to cover crops, especially yam, a tuber crop. And I told you why you cover yam when it's being planted. It's because to avoid your yam being in yam set being exposed to sun rays. So you can do mulching. An area where you cover will not grow grasses. So that is what we call mulching. These are physical methods of weed control. Let's move to the next, which is mechanical weed control. Anytime you are using machine, example mower. I gave you as an example that we use mower to cut grasses. Using of mower, plow, are what we call mechanical weed control. Anytime you are using machine in getting rid of weed, it's called mechanical weed control. Next, why are you making noise? Oh yeah, stand up. Good. Tell me what biological weed control is. Okay, you try. Let me explain further. Biological weed control is the use of organisms to get rid of weed. Example, like your grazing animal, cattle. When you allow cattle to graze on grasses, you are doing biological weed control. Let's move to the one you are conversant in, which is chemical control. So I told you any where you are using chemical to control weed. For instance, we have the chemical used for weed, which I refer to as herbicide. Why did I say herbicide? So it's used for controlling weed. That is chemical weed control. This herbicide are of two types. We have the selective herbicide and non-selective. When you hear selective, it means that when you are using selective herbicide, any grasses that look like the crops will be gone. So it's only the crop you will allow to stay. So any grasses that look like the crops, for instance, if I'm using this lemon leaf, which we call tea leaf, and I'm using herbicide on maize farm, so that lemon leaf will not be destroyed because it look like maize. So when non-selective, whether this is planting crops or weed, everything will be destroyed. So that is it. But this herbicide, it has a negative impact on the soil. It can lead to pollution, because when you are using chemical on your farmland, when it's rain, the rain will wash down the chemical, and this water can lead their way to stream or river, thereby causing pollution, and the organism inside the water will be affected. So that is effect of chemical control. Let's now go to the last method, which is integrated weed control. This integrated is combination of one or more method. When you are using physical and mechanical, you are doing integrated. When you are using biological weeds alongside with chemical control, you are doing integrated weed control. These are the method of weed control. Any question? In absence of no question, let me now give you this as your take-home assignment: 5 effects of weed control method on soil and vegetation, to be submitted first thing on Wednesday. Good day and God bless you.